Hey guys, it's Tiffany. I just want to talk to you a little bit about my backstory, about why I am on this journey, what led me to this journey. Many of you may know, many of you may not know. Back in August of 2011, I was severely burned. I had first, second, and third degree burns on my face, neck, and arms. I needed to have skin grafts on both arms. They took skin from my upper left thigh and put them on both my arms. So now I have a scar on my upper left thigh as well. I was in an ICU unit for a week, and then a home health nurse came to my house for a little over a month. I went to a doctor every week. I went to physical and occupational therapy 3 times a week for more than 6 months. For the first 3 months, I was in shock. I was in denial. And I couldn't understand why I wasn't sleeping, why I was having nightmares. What was making me so nervous? Why I didn't want to do anything, the things I was able to do. And then after talking to doctors and going to more doctors, I was diagnosed with PTSD, anxiety, and depression. Now, before my accident, I was 120 to 125 pounds. I was incredibly active. I could eat whatever I wanted. When I worked, it was for 12 hours at a time. And I was doing so much overtime, so I usually worked anywhere from 48 to 60 hours a week. Very rarely did I work a short week, which was 36 hours. During work, I was on my feet nonstop, running back and forth. And I worked with really, really high temperatures, a couple hundred degrees. So I was always sweating. So even if I did eat something that may have affected my weight, I would sweat that pounds right off. I also was lifting about 80 some pounds, if not more, by myself a few times each day while I was at work. And then I got hurt. I couldn't even lift a cup of water. I couldn't pour myself a cup of coffee. I needed help. When I finally got help after being diagnosed with the anxiety and everything else, the first medicine they put me on, I gained 30 pounds in 3 weeks. So not only was I coping with this whole new way of life where I couldn't do anything and all the scars on my body, then I gained 30 pounds, which made me more depressed. Sorry. So I tried numerous different medications, and every time I tried a new medication, my first question was, is it going to make me gain weight? After gaining all this weight and not being active, I couldn't find a way to lose it. At my highest, I was over 160 pounds. After about 2 years, I finally start eating a little healthier, eating more greens, counting calories. But I was only losing maybe 10 pounds in 3 months, and then I gain it again. I didn't have anything stable. I didn't have anybody to truly encourage me, to be honest with me, to understand what I was going through. Being a woman, we always are worried about what we look like. We are our own worst critics. I can't change all the scars in my body. Believe me, if I could, I would. I tried over 9 months of laser therapy trying to get rid of my scars. It didn't work. It minimized them a little bit, but they're still there. My weight I can change. One of my favorite places in the world is the beach. Now I am so conscientious of people staring at my scars and having to explain them. I'm worried about just making sure they are covered correctly with SPF and clothing and whatever. But then there's my weight. I mean, it makes it 10 times worse. Back in November of 2015, I hit 150 plus on the scale, and enough was enough. I still, to this day, deal with my anxiety and depression, and I sometimes don't know how to control it. However, I know being overweight and not in shape was making me more depressed, and that is one thing that I can control. So I found this awesome girl who would message me when I was complaining about my weight online. She's like, hey, what about this? And I'm like, I don't have the money. I don't know. I just don't think I can. And when I got to that point, I was like, okay, you know what? I'll give it a shot. Give it a month. But then I saw results. And not just results. I was added to this community of amazing men and women who shared so many different stories, so many different lifestyles, but they were all encouraging one another. They were not putting each other down, and that really helped me. They helped me keep going. They motivated me. My coach, Kayla, she always checked in with me. She was always there, or somebody else if she was working or being a mom, which I completely understand. But whenever I had a question, there was always somebody there to answer. There was always somebody to point me in the right direction. When I would have a bad day, I had somebody there to lift me up. After that, I figured I was proud of myself. And for all the people that I knew were still judging me, like, oh, you're falling through some scam. No, I'm not. I found something that works for me. I found a community that works for me and helps lift me up. So it helped to block all those negative people, because no matter what in life, you're always going to have those negative people. So I started sharing my journey, And now I'm sharing my story, my backstory. Not just what I eat, what I drink, how I work out, and other tips and tricks to people. But now it's the hard truth of the anxiety, the depression, the added depression of being not fit or overweight. My goal for this is for those people that are depressed or discouraged with their weight, that suffer from anxiety. I hope that they know that they're not alone, and if there are people that feel like nobody understands what I'm going through, I do. Even if it's somebody to say, thank you for making me feel like I'm not alone. Even if it's one person. I found out that I'm not only doing this for myself, but I'm doing it for others, to help others, because others have helped me. They have shared their stories, their backstory with me, and it's helped. So now that's my goal, is to help others, no matter how hard it is. I know this year when I hit the beach, I am going to be in shape, and I'm going to be a lot thinner. And I'm going to be a little more confident about my body, despite my scars. I'm always going to suffer with anxiety and depression, but I'm not going to let my weight and my health be one of those issues that affects it. So, to that one person that is suffering or depressed or discouraged about their weight, feels like you're alone, feels like nobody understands what you're going through, I do. And I would be glad to help you in any way I can, or help point you in the right direction. I hope you have a wonderful day.